Kim Il-sung, born Kim Song-ju, April 15, 1912 to July 8, 1994, was a Korean revolutionary, North Korean statesman, military, political and party figure who ruled the DPRK from 1948 to 1994. He held the positions of Chairman of the Cabinet of Ministers, 1948 to 1972, President, 1972 to 1994, Chairman of the Central Committee of the Labour Party of Korea, 1949 to 1966, General Secretary of the Central Committee of the TPK, 1966 to 1994, and Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Korean People's Army, 1950 to 1991. In 1929, as a high school student in Yewon City, Jilin Province, Manchuria, he was arrested for political activity. In 1930, he was released and joined the unit of the Korean Independence Army led by Yeon Se-bone. Since 1931, he already had his own partisan unit consisting of 18 people. In October 1936 he gained public prominence. An article was published in the Seoul Press about a raid by 40 Red Bandits led by Kim Il-sung on the village of Shili Udaeogu in Manchuria, during which a villager named Park Han-yang was robbed. In 1937, Kim Il-sung's outnumbered squad won several victories over Japanese police and punitive forces in the Paektu and Paektu mountain areas. Kim Il-sung officially heads the 6th Division of the 2nd Army of the 1st Field Army of the Northeast Joint Anti-Japanese Army. In March 1940, Kim Il-sung's division won its greatest victory near Daemalugao. Her squad of 250 partisans completely defeated a unit of the Japanese Special Police. In early 1941, Kim's weakened division was forced to retreat to the north, to the border of the USSR. On March 15, 1941, Kim Il-sung and his partisans, totaling 25 people, crossed the Soviet border, were detained by the NKVD authorities and subjected to intensive interrogations and checks. After verification, ideological processing and special training, the soldiers of the unit and Kim Il-sung himself were assigned to a special military unit, the 88th Separate Rifle Brigade of the Far Eastern Front, formed at the end of July 1942 in the village of Byatsko on Amur. Kim Il-sung was awarded the rank of Captain of the Soviet Army. Under the Chinese name in the documents, Jins Heishan, he was appointed commander of the 1st Battalion of the 88th Brigade. Kim Il-sung quickly became a local leader because he was the most senior in rank among the Korean officers of the brigade and he was good at learning the Russian language. In 1945, in connection with the unexpectedly quick surrender of the Japanese Kwantung Army, the 88th Brigade was reformed without taking part in hostilities. Kim Il-sung and about 40 Korean servicemen and their family members were sent by sea via Vladivostok on the Pugachev steamer to the Korean port of Wonsan. In September 1945, he was appointed Assistant Military Commandant of the city of Pyongyang. The Soviet leadership bet on Kim Il-sung as the most faithful Stalinist. On October 14, 1945, he appeared in public for the first time. He spoke at the stadium of the city of Pyongyang before a rally of 100,000 people, carefully prepared by the aviation department of the Soviet-occupying 25th Army. Since 1945, he has been the leader of the Workers' Party of Korea. In 1946, an attempt was made on him, a grenade was thrown from the crowd, which was covered by Lieutenant Yat Novichenko with his body. In 1984, Novichenko was awarded the title of Hero of Labor of the DPRK. 1948 to 1972, Prime Minister, later President of the DPRK. After the death of Stalin in 1953, Kim Il-sung began to make attempts to free himself from Soviet pressure. Along the way, he launched repressions against Korean figures of Soviet origin, repressions against all those who stood on pro-Soviet positions. And also against those who knew too much about Kim Il-sung, Soviet Army Captain Jins Heishan. In the future, he ruled in an authoritarian manner. Surrounded himself with the official great leader called Shortly before his death, he appointed his own son Kim Jong-il as the head of the party and the state. Buried in the Kim's Usan Memorial Palace Mausoleum, his former residence in Pyongyang.